Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon. How are we doing? How are we doing this morning? My name is Exodus, and this is the Exodus Automotive channel. We are back again with another video. It's been a while. Once again, before I forget, I would like to thank everyone for the support. I know that it's been a while, but yeah. Um, as a quick update, we moved from another shop, but we're still in the business and we're still here to do right. Yes, my name is Exodus, and this is the Exodus Automotive channel. We are working out of Zippy Lube and Car Care as of yes. So our first car up for the day today is a Kia Sedona. We're going to be doing front brakes and a left front wheel bearing hub assembly. All right. So how are we doing? We're doing all right? Okay. Let me just get them started. All right. All right. So 21 lug nut. Yes. All right. Now, taking the lug nuts off. Wheel ready. But they're getting heavier. Now, the reason why we're replacing these here is because of brake pulsation, the rotors. But I suspect that this side here, uh, wheel bearing hub assembly, there's something around 45 miles per hour. We get a vibration, trembling. And when I look at the tires, I see that they are divoting, little spots here and there. Yeah. So, car is all original. Everything is, yeah. Now, what do we have here? Our brake caliper, 14 millimeter. And the inside uses the slider is, I believe it's a 17 millimeter. Okay, let's confirm that. Yeah, 17. Um, they sell flat wrenches. Yes, some calipers need flat wrenches. I believe I have a few. Let's see. Right here they are. Now this is the SAE size in 3/4 inch. But if you notice, you see how flat they are. But before these wrenches, I was creating my own. That's how it goes sometimes. All right. So we have a 14 here, a 17 on the inside, and a 14 here. I don't see any spring loaded here. So let's see what we could do. Okay. So we have our little screwdriver. Yeah, no biggie. Try to see if we could get between the caliper and the brake pad, rotor. All we want to do is just push it back a little bit. Yeah, and you'll see it. All right. That's all you need. Don't need much. Okay. And our 3/8 off. We don't need a lot of torque. 14 millimeter. Okay. All right. Oh, Okay. Caliper piston. Push it back tool. Just like that. All right. Remove this guy. Now I'm just gonna hang him up here for a second. He's not gonna stay secure, so I just want to move these guys here. Okay. Now on the bottom here, there is, you know, our sliding clip piece. This has a little like stops the pad from coming back, so they put a little lip piece that sticks up like this. Your best way is just to tap them down, or push upwards, and he should slide. Well, as you can see, sometimes they just need a little persuasion. Yeah. Okay. So now that our brake pads are removed, we're going to be replacing these guys here. See that little lip piece sticking up there? Right here? Yeah, that's the one that stops the pad from moving a certain distance. I will say that it's important to replace those little sliding pads. Every time you change the brakes, they come with a set now. Replace them. Yeah, save yourself a lot of headache. All right. So we're going to switch over from the 14 millimeter to a 17 millimeter for the caliper bracket. You're going to want to turn up your torque a little bit because these are bigger bolts. All right. They do have a washer on them. Pay attention. You do not want to tighten this thing back up without a washer. All right. Remove the bracket. Okay. All right. So now our rotor is ready to come off, but it has fastening bolts on there. And when I say fastening bolts, I am speaking in reference to this guy here. You all right? Let's get a little more settled in. Yeah, you have two of them here and here. They are Phillips screwdriver, but they are pressed in. You try to use a screwdriver by itself, it won't work. You have to use something like a punch and break it loose. Spray with PB Blaster. Yeah, that helps also. But a regular Phillips screwdriver will not work with this thing. All right. Let me just come this way. Let's grab our tool. Now, I'm using a Matco. I'm not promoting. I am just simply saying this is what I use. It is one of these, but our tool itself, it's air hammer type thing, but manual. You use your hand. It's very heavy weight wise. It is directional. You grab a hammer. Okay. So, all right, he's in the lock position. Now you hold him on. Right. Once you have made that initial break in it, and to tighten it, you also have to do it the same way. All right. Rest this right here. Now we still need our Phillips. No, don't do that. And with that, just a little. Someone could have reminded me, hey, Exodus, you forgot to secure that. Okay. All right. And that's how I wrote hub assembly. Yeah, hub assembly. Let's take a look at what it looks like, shall we? So here's your axle. And as you can see, 1, 2, 4 of them. But also this guy here. Yeah, we're going to want to pay attention to him. So before you go any further, you're going to want to spray this 10mm bolt here with some PB Blaster and remove it slowly without breaking. Yeah, it gets a little tricky. Here is the back side. All right, hold on, going too far. Okay, what do we need? This guy, this guy, and this guy. All right, see him there? All right, now let's grab our 10. Where's our 10? Right here. Now this is our ABS speed sensor type thing, right? One sensor serves multiple purposes. 10mm bolts, you really and truly you don't want that bad boy to break. Yeah, and just tie him up here, out of your way. Okay, now with your sensor out of the way, let me bring the car up in the air and we give you a better look of what's going on the outside inside here. Okay, so now this is our backside of our hub assembly. Yes, so there goes the 2 lower bolts there. But if you notice the space between the bolt and the axle, so we have to get the axle to come back or the spindle to go forward. Now how this design is set up is where tie rod end and the lower control arm ball joint. See it? It has 3 17mm bolts, right? We're going to pull these 3, relieve it, the tie rod end. This way we'll be able to have where the axle will be extended out and we'll be able to tap them out that way. All right. So let's come up to this guy here now. Now you see these 2 divots into the axle. I don't want to disturb them. So what I'm going to do is this. I use my ball punch and just squeeze in there. Now, when you tighten back your axles, these may not be your points, but you must put them back into this locking unit. And that's a 32mm. So, 32mm axle bolt. Break him loose. That's good right there. Just like that. That guy right there. So, it has a cotter pin. Please, remove the cotter pin. Don't cut off the ends and then says, well, okay, it will turn and break off. Remove it. It will save the threads on the tie rod end itself. I think it's a 17 millimeter. No, 19. Okay. Now we're not going to do much banging today. This particular tool, you know, it's becoming more popular. So okay, just like that. 16 millimeter. Now you can apply a few turns on it, put a tension, hit right here with a hammer, it will pop right up. Or you can just keep applying tension to it and it pops right up. That's the function of this tool here. All right. Do not damage the threading. All good. Now we need to lower ball joint. 17 millimeter. Okay. Now you're gonna have to pry the arm down or the ball joint down. All right. Let's see. Yeah, should be able to turn it. See it? There's a gap right here. Just like that. And your axle moves back to give you enough clearance that you will be able to slide the axle out enough. You can get your 14 millimeter onto the bolts here now. Are we getting this? Or should I go up in the air and catch you? Uh, okay. So now you see the axle is sitting on the hub here, and we have our 14 millimeter there. Now you're going to want to spray some PB Blaster down into the ABS sensor hole, and you're going to want to spray around here also. And on the outside shield. Okay. So I'm using a 14 long swivel, and that is so I can reach certain things. Yeah. Okay. All right. Our axle. Okay. Movie magic. That's where he fell. Yeah. Fell right out. Yeah. Right there. And that's how you remove the wheel bearing. Hub assembly. All right. All right. Small intermission. So we are going to prep our caliper bracket. All right. So I have removed the sliding plates. Where's my little now this is just me. Yeah. I clean these areas. Just steel brush up top, the flat surface. Yeah. I just okay. I just want to remove any debris that would be sitting in these areas here. Yeah. So that this way our new sliding brackets sits nice and flush. Now they will give you a hard time. Yeah. So you don't have to go dramatic. Just like that. Nice and easy. Nothing spectacular or crazy. We don't need a hammer. Yeah. Just all right. So now that these guys are sitting, yeah, we pull our pins. Inspect them for corrosion. Liquid silicone and our caliper lube. All right. Now, one of them have a rubber. This guy here is called an anti-rattle. Yes. You may think that you can position it anywhere you want to, but no. So, one at a time. And remember where you got that anti-rattle from. Yeah. Make sure that he moves nice and easy. Now this guy here, he doesn't have an anti-rattle on him. See it? He goes this. All right. It's important for these things, these slider pins, to get grease. When they freeze up, it will cause you the pedal to sink, give you the impression of a bad master cylinder. Okay. All right. Let's get our bearing back in. Okay. Now that we are back, bearing. Yes. All right. Now, you're going to want to use some Loctite. I'm using Loctite Blue. You don't have to go crazy, just a little. Make sure you catch a few good threads. Okay. Our last one. All right. So we use our 14 millimeter. Don't need excessive torque. Can't get to this one. Gonna have to use the swivel. Okay, one more. All right. So now that the bearing is in, we have to get our axle back through this pivoting point. Well, there's something I just realized is that the ABS wiring, when I pull forward, you see it right here. So you don't have very much, but you need to. The best thing I could tell you to do is to, there's a 12 millimeter right here on a bracket. Yeah, you could either move the bracket and everything comes free. I think I'll do that. Now, the only reason why I'm doing it is because I did take notice of this wiring here. When I pulled it forward, there was just not enough clearance here. There's another 12 millimeter bracket piece here if you need more to come forward. Yeah. So we're gonna come and try to see if we can get our axle back in here. Okay. Nice. All right. Now there's something that I'm going to show you from the backside. Now you see this guy here. Let's move you back out of our way. Axle all the way in, but this control arm here. piece. So you want to push your axle in and catch the nut. Okay. This guy, position the 3 bolts and push him back in. So you're gonna have to hold him down. Yeah. Hard to hold and push at the same time. That's where your pry bar comes in handy. There's a hole right there. Yeah, see him? I'm gonna push my pry bar right here and pull the arm down. Just like that. You have 2 nuts, 1 stud. Just hold them down, catch the nuts. Now the 1 bolt that goes there. I'm going to use a little Loctite on this guy. It's the only single bolt that's back there for the ball joint, lower control arm. Push down on the tip of it. Now, you don't want to cross thread it or anything of that nature, so you want to catch a couple threads by hand. There you go. Okay. When you see it come through the top, you know you're good. All right. 17 millimeter. Okay. Now, with that being in place, you can also put your tie rod in. Make sure the hole for the cotter pin is accessible. All right. 17, I think it was. Or 19. Yeah, 19. Be sure that say your cotter pin goes through securely. You know how to bend him and all of that good stuff. All right. Now, our axle. Okay. Before you put your ABS sensor and all of that good stuff in there, you got to tighten up your axle. Now you know how I do it. I use a 100 foot-pound torque stick to tighten it while it's up in the air. Okay, 1 more. All right. All right. Before rotor, this guy here. Put your sensor back. Put your bracket back. So this was a 12. Okay. Now you 10 millimeter on your sensor. Nothing more than hand tool. Yeah, nothing more than hand tool. You can't see it, but you see that I am using my 1/4 inch ratchet with extension. When it stops, I'm done. Okay. All right. Here's our rotor. Now you see our fastening. Yeah. Fastener and fastener. Okay. Grab our Phillips. All right. That's one. And then number two. Okay. And our punch. All right. And that's that. On our bracket, bolts. A little Loctite. Okay. There we go. 17 millimeter. We don't need high torque. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So I like to put my wear indicator on the bottom. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Let's unhook our caliper from up here. All right. Okay. 14 millimeter bolts. Okay. Now, using the air, I turn them down all the way. Wrench. Also have it in reverse. Okay. These bolts are soft. All right. And double check it. Make sure they slide. Yeah. All right. So we're going to put our wheels back on. When the car comes down, Pump up the brakes before you start the car. Pump up the brakes before you start up the car. Yes? So, today was a 2 for 1. We did front brakes, rotors, and left front wheel bearing. They're pretty common on the Kia Sedona, either front or rear. The bearings are really poorly built. So, that's how we do front brakes, front rotors, wheel bearing. Don't forget the sensor, very important. Do not try to remove the bearing with the sensor still attached onto the spindle. And as usual, use your PB blaster. It helps to move the rust and corrosion off the bolt stem a little bit more easier. And yeah, I would like to thank you for another video. Uh, we're going to be having the Accord is going to time for its 90,000 mile service. Imagine the last time we did a video on the Accord was it was somewhere into its 30 or 40,000 miles. Yeah, we are in our 90,000, so we're going to be doing a 90,000 mile service on the Accord. Radiator fluid, change front brakes, rear brakes. I would like to change the cooler and also cabin filter, air filter, serpentine belt. 90,000 mile service we're going to be doing, and I'm going to record it. All right. So on Exodus, and this is the Exodus Automotive move. And I'd like to thank you again. Hope we help you in some which way impossible. All right. With that being said, Exodus, thank you for the support. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now that okay. Pump up the brakes. Don't forget to pump up the brakes. It's important. Yeah. Before you start the car, you pump it up and make sure that pedal holds. All right. When you start the car, the pedal will sink from below your feet. But if the car is off and the pedal sinks, you have a problem. Start from scratch. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right.